What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Might be a little bit before you get another video, so listen, hit the like button. This is a long video. This is going to be everything but a rant. If you want to support my channel, man, links down in the description. Go get yourself a Steel bundle. It's only about $4, including the shipping. Go open a Weeble account. Get yourself some free stocks. And here we go. This bland, boring, uninspired screenshot of Madden 22. And I played the beta today, and I asked myself, what is different in this game? The colors are different like normal. The speed is a little bit different. But other than that, the game is the same. And that's where we're going to have a discussion today. Sean Grady, I'm speaking directly to you, even though it's through a microphone, into a computer, to the community. I want you to know my words are directed at you. Because I want to know to a man how you can stand here and feel your words are meaningful when your credibility is wasted. When you've lied to us. This video right here, shot at your home, July 2nd, 2020. A promise to make your game better. Let's talk about where we went with this, Sean. A coaching tree is being introduced. This is IGN, by the way. IGN is telling you that your game is lifting features from NCAA 14. Madden 22. Can you explain to me why your game is lifting features from a game from 2014? Why you don't have anybody in the building on the team that can bring anything new to the table? But, you defend yourself on that, don't you? You say for inspiration, you're playing God of War. Of course you're playing another game, Sean. You can't play the game you work on, can you? Because your game's got a .2 user score. You can't be proud of the product you put on a disc. You can't be proud of the product we have to play. So I would imagine you're looking for other games to spend your day with, because we know you're not spending it on Madden. But here we go. You sat there July 2nd of 2020, and you're telling me scouting will be updated later, and you want me to feel some type of way because you were going to push this off to Madden 23. It was going to take you 2 years to get scouting correct in your game. But you guys really put the pedal to the metal, didn't you? And you're going to have it later this year. I'm absolutely blown away. Because you know what you guys did have time for? Let me remind you. SpongeBob Stadium, right? Let me remind you the Campbell's Chunky Noodle Soup uniforms. You found time for this, but you couldn't find time to fix the scouting in your franchise mode. That could have been a 2-year project, right? You found time to make a mockery of the NFL and the Pro Bowl, right? Everybody remembers this. But you were struggling to put some hours together to get your scouting right. But you want us to be appreciative that instead of taking 2 years, it's going to take 1. I wish I could say this video would get better, but it won't. We're going to carry on here. Franchise mode will include 35 new scenarios. They hired somebody, okay? We all assume this is the person from the college football revamped projects. This guy comes in with 35 new scenarios. How long have you guys had over there, Clint? How long have you guys had over there? But you get a guy from our community, and all of a sudden it looks like things are getting done. Things we're going to enjoy. And then here we go. This is how I know you need to sit down God of War over there, Sean. You need to play your own game. Because if you think halftime adjustments are going to do anything, you don't understand the meta your game has. You don't understand that zone coverages haven't worked for seemingly 8 years. You don't understand that you can spam the same play over and over and over again. Do you watch your competitive games? When you're selling a game and you have IGN saying it's a minor change, what do you think the hardcore community is going to think about that? You think that's going to sell a game, Sean? I know you plan on giving a bunch of games away to us, just like you did with the codes today. I know you're not worried about sales. You're worried about how many codes you can get out into the marketplace. But I said the other day this game should be free. And when you have things like this happening, there's a real logic as to why. A community member is doing better than people that have worked on this game for years. Let that sink in while I show you another Madden 22 screenshot. Because this is how I feel about this game right now. And anybody that played the beta should agree with me. If they don't, I really need to know the game they're playing. Let's carry on though. This is the most egregious one. The Super Bowl presentation will finally be different. After years of point of videos, people like myself, Soft Drink, coming out and showing these presentations aren't changing. Now they're going to change things up. So basically, we had to call you out for about 4 years before you decided you could find the time to make a change. Just go back to the scouting thing. I mean, I don't understand it. Because it looks like you just hope people only play your game for a year or two and then move on to maybe play God of War, right, Sean? I'm gonna use that all year, just so you know. This is the super fan for Madden 12, guys. Some of you just getting the game might not realize it because now Madden wants to rebrand it as a feature. And here's where I really had to walk away. Sit down if you're standing, pull over if you're driving. You shouldn't be on your phone as a PSA. This absolutely floored me. EA Sports. Guys, just a moment of silence for the stupidity that's about to come out of my mouth. Superfans exist in real life. Characters like Fireman Ed won't be in the game because EA says the cost of tracking them down and adding their likeness would be just too high. EA, I swear you never, ever have the right to tell us how something to make this game better would be too expensive. You have your doofy little gamers from Madden Ultimate Team in the game. Remember, I got one of them taken out of the game last year. You can find that, but you can't find actual superfans. Costs too much money. Face the franchise is back. Yup. I just want you to look at IGN. It's like subtle shade. Yup, Face of the Franchise is back. It's not a new feature per se. Of course it's not a new feature. EA doesn't know new features, but it will be a new story. Remember all those stories you didn't play before? Well, guess what? We've got a brand new one. It's called United We Rise. It's an intriguing story mode. No, it's not. It's a movie. Sean, no one asked you to make a movie. We asked you to make a better football game. And clearly you heard at least part of what we were saying because you realized it was time to change that Super Bowl celebration and you had to humble yourself, stand in front of that TV in your family room and tell us you were going to make the game better. But all the while, apparently, you knew you didn't have the talent or the skill in that building to make the game better by 2023. I don't know why you just didn't come out and tell us then. Can you come out and tell us that you can't do your job? I mean, we see it in the product. But boy, I can't wait to tear into another year of Face of the Franchise. I mean, I can't tell you the last time I was so bored watching a video game that I couldn't skip through, play a movie that I didn't want to watch, because the game was so bad, I figured, let me see what this has to offer. I'd rather watch a movie than play this football game while you're playing God of War, right? Is that what we're doing? Do you think you could bundle God of War? Because here's the thing. Access Football has figured most of these things out. Maximum Football figured a lot of these things out. They figured out how to get depth in their franchise modes, in their dynasty modes. Can you explain to me how that's possible? They found the time. They care about their product. They have a smaller team. I want to just talk about this, and I know it's a nitpick. And I know someone will validate it. But it's the first impression, you know? You never get a second chance at a first impression. Can someone just explain to me why a defensive lineman is in the huddle with the offense and not bring up some rhetorical statement that, well, he must be there as an auxiliary player, he's going to be a fullback, or he's going to go try to catch a pass. Because clearly they're not at the goal line here. Could it be that these cutscenes are so broken that they don't know what players are being put in like every other year? Can we join together in some sort of community solace where we at least agree there's certain aspects of this game that are indefinitely broken? And when they show them to us in trailers or images, it just means that they are so abundantly lost at how flawed their game is that not only can they not fix it, they can't even hide it anymore, because unless we really shove it in their face like the Super Bowl presentation, they don't know what's broken. Now, I know this video has been quite negative, but again, that's where this game is if you haven't watched. So I want to leave you with a comic. I want to leave you with something that should give you a laugh. It talks about me and another content creator, and here we are at EA headquarters in this fictitious conversation, and they're talking about this board meeting of how we're hurting their views and their pack openings, and they're asking for suggestions of how to stop us. right? Because when you search Madden 22 on YouTube today, you get a good bit of my videos. So the responses to this are to block us on social media. They've actually already done that. To add more SpongeBob. Well, we know depending on the cost of SpongeBob, that might be possible. And then here you go. This is everyone in the community. We could try and add what they're suggesting. And as you can see, Cartoon Clint says, that's too much work. And the community responds, but that's our job. And then Clint throws him out the window. As New Jack would say, bombs away. This is a community that wants a better game. This is a community that devotes a lot of their life to helping EA produce the best game possible. This is a community that has brought multiple people from it to EA that have done some great things. But unfortunately, unless you have people there that are willing to make a commitment, people that are willing to put some respect on their own words, people that are willing to sit there and say to themselves, I am going to make a promise to this community to make the game better, and I'm going to keep it, then it's never, ever going to happen. Then every time we're met with a day like today, everyone is going to have a mixed bag of reactions until we get 2 months in and everyone realizes, no, this game is garbage. I understand that some content creators want to be optimistic. They may not intentionally mislead you as a gamer and say, hey, I played it and it feels different, or look at all these changes, or oh, how great this is going to be. But if there's one thing we've learned, EA has a track record of overselling and underdelivering. To the point that our expectations come into this exceedingly low. But my expectations were never that scouting would take to Madden 2023. My expectation was never that they would want some type of pride for actually doing it in 2 years instead of 3. Scouting is a fundamental aspect of football. Scouting is a fundamental part of building a team. For them not to be able to have scouting implemented correctly, properly, or, if it nothing else, to their best ability, many people, myself included, would say that without scouting players, franchise becomes next to meaningless. Because at that point, you're not looking at any team dynamically build. If you can't actually scout players and bring them in, whether it be college, other leagues, which should be in the game, all you're doing is playing the same games over and over and over and over and over. One of the cardinal complaints with Madden, since I've been in this community for over 10 years, is that every game feels the same. You know, we weren't just complaining about the presentation of the Super Bowl at the end being the same cutscenes. We were trying to establish to you at EA Sports, yourself, Sean, yourself, Clint, that when you copy and paste, when you cut corners, when you don't care, it reflects in so many other areas. And you don't actually pacify us. You don't actually make it right by just rearranging the scenes and saying, hey, it's different now. We want you to be actually in there doing the hard work, making the game better, improving the product. And instead, based on this article, all you're wanting is praise for doing your job and finding excuses for why it can't be done. And in the meantime, literally bringing people in off the streets that were modding this game. And somehow they're accomplishing more than the people have worked there for years. It is absolutely unfathomable how bad this game is. And I know, once you play it, once it's in your hands, after about an hour and a half, when all that luster wears off, you'll realize It's the same game it's always been, and apparently the same game it's always going to be. Love to know your guys' thoughts on this. I appreciate you checking out this video, and you know, with a company this bad and people this untrustworthy, I will be back in the week with more commentary.